As RVers, water on board is one of our most precious resources. Today, I'm breaking up with this thing. I've had this in my RV fridge for over 2 years, holds 3 quarts of water, spigot, and I've jerry-rigged this thing. Today, we're breaking up, and I'm gonna tell you why with a better solution. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Scott. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Go Small, Live Large. It's all about the Class B van RV lifestyle, hashtag Vanlife. Yes, I've been living in my 2019 Winnebago GL since February 2019. This is being recorded in mid-July, so that's about 29 months of full-time living in this camper van. No medals, no trophies, no awards for living in a van or really an RV. It's just the way I prefer to roll. And that's what we do here. We learn together, we share together, and then you decide what's the best way for you to RV. Maybe these tips and tricks are helpful, maybe they're not. Maybe you got a better idea still. That's what we do. We learn together, we share together, and then you decide. Today I want to talk about water. So water is really, really important to an RVer, especially in a Class B van. My onboard water is 18 gallons of fresh water, and by kind of limiting that usage to toilet and hand washing, a little bit of dishwashing, I can get about 4 to 5 days running solo with that onboard water. And when I get to a half tank, certainly a third, I want to fill that up when I have water around. But today what I want to talk about is auxiliary water. This is 3 quarts, fits in my fridge. I've had this for a long time. It was giving me some real headaches. And that's what we want to talk about today, but I also want to show another, oh my God, this thing's heavy. This is the big boy. This is what I park in the back in my garage storage. This is 4 gallons. So between that big boy and this thing, I had nearly 5 gallons of water to drink from. I can take these to other sources really easily, and that's the way I roll, is to use auxiliary water first, onboard water second, and when I get a water source, and I fill these bad boys up pretty readily. But let's talk about this thing and why I love to hate it and what I did about it. So I bought this from Camping World, and it's been with me for a long time. And what I liked about it, it's thin, it slides in against the fridge, and it held a little bit of water. It was cold water, used a spigot, which is great, which is now broken from my catastrophic throw. But it wouldn't fit in my fridge with a plastic cap on. So what I did is I used pieces of a Ziploc bag, and I punched holes in it so that it could breathe when I'm dispensing water, right? The challenge was, are you ready for this? It kind of sloshed a little bit and water would leak out. Not a giant deal, it's just water, except that my Nova Cool fridge was frosting up way more quickly than it really should be. And what happened would then is that the freezer plate would get so thick full of ice in about 60 days, certainly 90, is that the fridge ran really inefficiently because it was pumping the coolant through the freezer plate, and all that ice was what was creating coolness, which is not very effective. So I was continually looking for something that was going to replace this, that really caused me to have less frosting in the freezer section of the fridge, and allow me to still have water in the fridge. So wait till you see this hack. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of myself. So the way this worked is this fit right in here, and it just really barely fit. And it did a good job. There's a little bit of space here for, you know, cheese and some other little things. So this worked out really good. But again, what it did is this freezer plate right here frosted up really, really fast. I'm talking like in 30, 60 days, this whole thing was covered with ice so thick it touched here and in the back. And that caused the fridge cooling mechanism to run less efficiently. So it was running more often, which consumed more juice. Don't want that. So I was looking for, again, a solution to get rid of this thing, but still have cold water in the fridge. Are you ready for this? This is what I came up with. This is a juice bottle. You can get these anywhere. And what I've done is this slides right in here like that. 2 quarts, by the way. And then this one, second one, fits right on top, just like that. So I have 2 quarts, so that's a gallon. So more water than before, less space actually. It fits in there without stressing this thing. And I can easily get this in and out and get some water, and then I put it back in. So I am really, really happy with this solution, and I've had this now for about almost 2 months experimenting with this, which is kind of a big deal when you're RVing, right? Is you got to experiment. And what I found is that the freezer plate has hardly any ice on it at all. There's none in the back, well, barely, but nothing like it was before. So after 2 months, I still have barely any ice on the freezer plate. This is really an awesome solution. Cold water, more storage at a glance, and it's just really the greatest system. Be sure and stay to the end because I got a cold coffee tip for you that you may like. If you like iced coffee, you're going to want to stay around to the very end for this. Let me show you how I have the two quart jugs stacked in the fridge. This one goes up and down. I call it portrait, and this one is kind of horizontal. I call it landscape. And what keeps them from falling out is this, a little bit of command strip hook and loop right there. Not Velcro, but the command strip variety. And why I use that instead of like real Velcro is that these have a little give, so it's just enough to keep the thing from sliding out after opening the fridge, but just enough tension to keep them from falling out of the fridge. All right, so pretending these are this is in the fridge, this is lined up against the thermostat, which is just perfect. Then this bottle rests right on top with this command strip Velcro-ish piece going right on top like that. And again, it gives just enough tension that it won't slip out when I open up the fridge door, but is not tight enough to not give way so that I'm pulling both of them out. So what you want to do, you put one on one side, one on the other side, and the same like that, so that they are able to match up in the fridge. Hey, if you've learned anything, or if you found this mildly amusing, appreciate a thumb up. That helps me know you liked it and helps YouTube share it out with other folks that are interested in the same kind of van life content. Comment below, were these tips helpful? Have you tried with these kind of experiments in your own RV to maximize your RVing experience? And please subscribe to the channel. If you're into van life, if you're into places, if you're into cool people, right now we're getting ready to launch in mid-July, Route 66, Chicago to LA, 6 or 7 states, over 1,000 miles. Would love for you to come for the journey. And then we're headed up the West Coast through California, Oregon, Seattle, and we're doing a wine tour in the Yakima Wine Valley. So if you don't want to miss any of that, subscribe to the channel because it's all about helping you become a better RVer, whether you're still researching, that'd be no time, part-time, just taking cool trips, weekends, maybe months, or full-timing even like me, which is pretty awesome. And you'll want to be sure and check out my website, GoSmallLiveLarge.com. That's where we post all the event action, and we got a lot of things coming up, including caravans, where we start at a starting point and we drive together in our vans to a destination, and we might even camp out. That would be a vanboree overnight, or worst case, it's a roundup where we just kind of hang out for a few hours talking van life, giving rig tours and things like that. So check out my website, lots of information there you won't see on YouTube. And on Instagram, gosh, you want to go there. We got about 1,000 subscribers now, which is great. Followers, I guess, are called. They're posting daily, almost daily videos, and they're really informational, little tiny tidbits on how to be a better RVer or just things you should consider as I'm roaming around. Instagram, go small, live large, find me there. So until we see you soon, I wish you to journey on as we say goodbye to the water jug. See ya. So here's my little coffee hack trick for you. So you know how I love coffee? I use ground coffee through my AeroPress system, which I love, particularly in the morning when it's cool out and I want to get some hot coffee, and that's the way I do that. But sometimes I want iced coffee. So how do I do that? I actually use instant coffee, and here's the trick that I've learned, because it's summertime. I love iced coffee, so let me show you this. It's pretty cool. So in here, in my fridge, I found the perfect little jar. This is from a coffee shop in Three Rivers, Michigan. It's LA's Coffee House, and what it is, it's a super cute little bottle. I bought it because of the bottle, but it came with nitro brew, so the whole thing was like, I don't know, 15 bucks mostly for the coffee. I think the jar was like $5, but it fits in the fridge perfectly. And what I do is I put a very heavy amount of this into this jar, and then I put water in it, so it's really almost like a coffee concentrate. And then when I want to make iced coffee, what I do is I pour about a third of the container that I'm going to drink out of with the concentrate, then ice, and then water, so it kind of mixes up, and then I put my cream on top. And let me tell you, this is a great little tip on making iced coffee if you like it. So as an RVer, as you're going around things, have a sense of what size container will your cupboard take, your fridge take, your drawer take. Maybe even measure those and put them in a diary or like Apple Notes on your phone, so that when you're in some place, I know that this is 8 inches, 11 inches was too tall. That was the next size up. And this is what's been really great. So again, the tip here is find a container that fits really nicely. If it looks cool, even better, right? I mean, look at that, right? And then for concentrated coffee, I don't make it regular strength because I'm diluting it with water and ice and then the cream. So concentrate, ice, water, and then cream. And let me tell you, it makes perfect iced coffee at a glance. At a moment's notice. It's really, really great. What do you think of that tip?